Make today iconic.
What is up, guys? It's Upcome Sports here with a Utah Jazz super realistic rebuild, part 1 of this series. Here are the objectives for the Jazz, if you guys want to pause those and look at them. But here are the settings I'm going to be using in this and many other rebuilds, especially realistic rebuilds. But if you guys are new to the channel, just know that I do use trade override to make most of my trades, because 2K is not really realistic with their trades. They ask for too much or too little, and don't worry, I won't finesse teams and just take whatever they have. I will explain my reasoning for the trades, and if you guys disagree, then make sure to leave a comment. I'm open to any comments, and just make sure you back it up. But here are the rosters, the Utah Jazz. And Rudy Gobert is playing pretty well, especially offensively this season. We are in start today mode, so the Jazz do have a record of 25-21 about midway through the season. And there you guys see Donovan Mitchell still under team control. And Ricky Rubio is injured, I believe, for another 1 or 2 weeks, but he's playing pretty solid. They also got Kyle Korver in a trade, so he's a nice solid piece. Grayson Allen probably won't see too many minutes in the first season, but I will also be using storylines for the draft. If you guys don't know what this is, basically when I'm uploading a draft, I pick to put storylines on, and it just allows for more interesting real life scenarios. Like RJ Barrett could be a bust, or he could turn out to be a star, and a bunch of second round guys could be like stars or something like that. Another pretty cool feature they added in this year's 2K is player mentorship. So if you guys don't know what this is, basically young guys can be mentored and taught badges by older players. So for example, Donovan Mitchell can be mentored by Kyle Korver, and Kyle Korver is a really good shooter, so he can teach him a lot of shooting badges, which is really cool. You can pretty much do this with any players. So here is the rotation for the Jazz. Since we have a lot of injuries, we are going to run Donovan Mitchell at point guard for now, and Royce O'Neal is going to start at the 2. That's pretty much what they've been doing in real life for the Jazz, so I'm just going to keep it that way for this season. And here is the system. Here at the All-Star break, we do have an All-Star in Rudy Gobert, and I think he definitely deserves it. Has picked up his offensive game. Here at the trade deadline, coming off of a 4-game winning streak, actually a 5-game winning streak, we are actually 32-23, so we are definitely in the playoff hunt, and no major injuries so far, so we're looking pretty good. Hopefully we can keep it up. Really bad news here. Rudy Gobert is going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, approaching the playoffs, so that is a really big injury for us. Probably our main guy for this system to work. So we had sent Tony Bradley to the G League, but we're going to have to call him up for the remainder of the season with Rudy Gobert out. And he'll probably actually start if FK Udoh is not doing good. So for this season, Russell Westbrook's going to win the MVP for the Thunder. And Luka Doncic, Rookie of the Year. Anthony Davis, Defensive Player. Billy Donovan, Coach of the Year for the Thunder. And we'll check out if any Utah Jazz players made a team. Probably Rudy Gobert on the second team defensively. So he had a pretty good season. Definitely kept it up. But rookie teams, we did not have anyone. Checking out the standings, we did finish as the 5th seed. So we'll be playing the 4th seeded Nuggets, I believe. Yep, the Nuggets will be playing in the first round. And that's a very good team. They were first in the West, I believe, a couple weeks back in real life, so definitely a good team. But checking out the stats here, Donovan Mitchell picked it up a little bit, but yeah, everyone having a pretty good season. No one stands out too bad. Checking out the rotation for the playoffs, Ricky Rubio is back, so he's going to be the point guard, and Joe Ingles at the 3. Jay Crowder, we are going to play at the 4, and Favors can play the 5. I think that works out. So here in the first round of the playoffs against the Nuggets, we'll see how we do. We do lose game 1. Rudy Gobert is out, if you guys can remember, but we do tie up the series here 1-1. And we actually go up 2-1, so can we make it 3-1? No, it's a tie series at 2. Big game right here, and the Nuggets take it. Can they win on the road? And they beat us in Utah to close out the series. Donovan Mitchell with 21 points on 22 shots, not shooting efficiently at all. Jay Crowder played pretty well at the 4. I cannot complain. Derek Favors as the center, getting 2 blocks per game. So that's pretty solid right there. Will Barton actually with a double-double. Jamal Murray had picked it up in the playoffs. And Jokic didn't even go off that much, but he did get a lot of rebounds. So surprisingly enough, the Blazers actually beat the Thunder in 7 in the conference finals. And they're going to compete here. And they force a game 7, but the Raptors do take it all. So Kyle Korver has decided to retire after a very good career, and he's not going to be on the team anymore. He did have a team option, I believe, on his deal, but we obviously can't bring him back. But we do have our first round pick, so we will make it. And with the 21st pick in the draft, we're going to take Shamori Pons out of St. John's University. He's 6'1", a point guard, 175, so he looks like a good playmaker, solid all-around point guard, a little bit undersized. And in the second round, I think we're getting a steal with this one. Jalen McDaniels, 6'10", out of San Diego State. Power forward, can also play small forward at times, but looks like a really good defender, so hopefully he can be on the bench for us. So here in the offseason, we are actually throwing a deal at Chris Middleton, and it looks like he's going to accept it. It is about for $17-18 million a season for 3 seasons, and Chris Middleton did not get an offer from anyone, so that's why I think he decided to sign with us. The Bucks actually threw an offer at Jimmy Butler. Here is the roster after that offseason. Rudy Gobert is still our best player. Donovan Mitchell, Chris Middleton, I really like that signing. He can shoot the 3-ball, can also play a little bit of defense. So Ricky Rubio, we did bring back on a $9-10 million deal for 2 seasons with a team option. So this is the rotation: Ricky Rubio, Donovan Mitchell, Middleton, Favors, Gobert, Ingles, Crowder. And I really like the bench at this point. We just need a couple more pieces off the bench to really improve it. But Grayson Allen, we are going to send to the G League. And we're going to keep the same system, obviously. So here at the trade deadline, coming off of a tough loss to the Magic, we are actually 34-20, number 1 seed as of right now. So that Chris Middleton signing is looking really good right now, but hopefully we don't have any injuries and we can keep the number 1 seed. So a pretty big blow right here. Another injury right before the playoffs. Derek Favors is going to be out probably for the rest of the season, and that really hurts us. He was a starter, but Jay Crowder played pretty well last season at the 4, so we shouldn't drop off too bad. So for this season, Jokic is going to win the MVP for the Nuggets. Zion on the Suns, Rookie of the Year. And it looks like Mike Malone for the Nuggets was the Coach of the Year. But looking at the All-NBA teams, looks like we did not have anyone. But Rudy Gobert, again, All-Defensive Second Team. Pretty good numbers. But rookie teams, it looks like nobody made it. Checking out the standings, we were actually the 3 seed, so we did improve from last season. We did fall off a little bit. I don't know why. We didn't have really any injuries up until that Derek Favors one. But we have to play the Warriors in the first round. Of course, we might lose that series, but I believe they lost Kevin Durant, so we might have a chance in that one. Middleton actually having a pretty good season. Rubio did solid. Gobert, we saw his numbers, but yeah, Shamori Pons, 4 points and 3 assists, not bad. So here is the rotation going into the playoffs. Of course, we saw Derek Favors go down with an injury, so Jay Crowder is now at the 4. And I like how this team is looking. Grayson Allen will round out the bench. So here in the first round against the Warriors, they do not have Kevin Durant though, but they do win game 1. Hopefully we can actually compete. We all know how 2K is with the Warriors, but we do go up 2-1. Can we make it 3-1? We are the higher seed, and please close it out in 5. We do win in 5 games, surprisingly. Donovan Mitchell with 30 points in this one, also 5 rebounds and 5 assists. Ingles with 20 off the bench and 7 assists. He was huge. Middleton 17, 7, and 10 as well. Curry actually dropping almost 40 points and averaged 35 a game in this series. Klay Thompson didn't really play that well, but they do have Thabo Cephalosha. In the second round, we're playing the Nuggets, a revenge series right here. They knocked us out in the playoffs last season. They do win game 1 here. Can we tie it up? 2-0 now. Please make this a series. And we do 2-1. Can we tie it up? We do tie up the series 2-2. But we have to go on the road in Denver. And they do take a pretty big lead right here. And it looks like they're going to blow us out in this game. Donovan Mitchell with 16. Not shooting pretty well. No one really had a good offensive game for us. Jokic with 25, 14, and 6. Just being a beast. He is the MVP. So we'll see if we can force a game 7. And we're going to lose in 6 games again to the Nuggets. Looking like our kryptonite, even with Rudy Gobert this time. But yeah. Looks like the Nuggets are actually a pretty good defensive team, which I did not expect. Gary Harris with 27, Jokic 23, 12, and 7. So in the finals, it looks like it is a Raptors and Lakers matchup. And it looks like the Raptors take a big lead, and they do win again. So here in the draft lottery, looks like the Hornets are pretty bad. They have the number 1 pick. No, the Pistons have the number 1 pick. And we do have a first round pick. It is at 27. So here we're going to be making a trade with the Cavs that I think makes sense. Dante Exum, we're not really using at all. He still has somewhat of some potential, but he is on a 1-year, $9 million deal. And the Cavs, they need a backup point guard. If we check it out, they don't really have anyone else besides Colin Sexton. So a second round pick for Dante Exum on a 1-year deal, not too bad. And with the 27th pick, we're going to take Del Dawson out of Texas Tech. 6'8" power forward, 213 pounds. Looks like a good post scorer. We just need some more bench pieces, so hopefully we can develop him into something. So here in free agency, with us trading Dante Exum, we have enough cap to go after Mike Conley on a 3-year deal. And we're going to do exactly that. It looks like he does want to sign with us, which makes sense. Mike Conley wants to compete, and we definitely have a roster built for that. Still a really good defender, really good passer, and a really good scorer. Just a solid point guard. Here is the roster after the offseason. Donovan Mitchell is now our best player. Chris Middleton, Mike Conley on a 3-year deal. We did front load it since he is on the other side of 30 years old. But Derek Favors also re-signed with us. So this team is looking really nice. I do think Mike Conley is an upgrade over Ricky Rubio. He's just more all-around than Ricky Rubio. Ricky Rubio's probably a better passer, though. But, yeah, the bench is looking nice as well. Grayson Allen is going to finally get some minutes off the bench. But we will send Del Dawson, our first-round pick, to the G League. And we'll keep the same system as long as we don't do too bad. Here at the All-Star break, looks like Rudy Gobert is back to being an All-Star. I'm surprised Donovan Mitchell has not made an All-Star team yet, but here at the trade deadline, coming off of a big win against the Raptors, we are actually 42-12, shooting 41% from 3. Amazing numbers right there. Probably one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, I would assume, and hopefully we can keep it up this time. So in this season, Nikola Jokic with his back-to-back MVP and Cole Anthony Rookie of the Year. We did get Coach of the Year in Quinn Snyder. Definitely deserving. So we probably got the number 1 seed. And Chris Middleton actually making the All-NBA third team, averaging 6.5 assists, 16 points. Very good percentages. I did not expect him to make an All-NBA team over all of our other players. But Rudy Gobert still a good defender. And no one on a rookie team. But checking out the standings, we did finish as the number 1 seed, winning close to, I believe, 60 games, if not 60 games. We did actually win 61 games, so we'll be playing the New Orleans Pelicans in the first round, who drafted LaMelo Ball. Pretty good draft piece right there. But Donovan Mitchell, I don't know how he didn't make an All-Star team with those numbers. And Mike Conley having a really solid season. I do like his numbers right there. Shamori Pons off the bench, definitely improving. So we're definitely ready for the playoffs. Let's see what happens. Here is the rotation going into the playoffs. Obviously the starters getting more minutes, but we don't have any big injuries like we have had in the past 2 seasons. So we should be good to go. And actually Joe Ingles is injured. I did forget about that. So here in the first round, we should be able to get past the Pelicans. They have nothing too special, but we do win game 1. Can we win game 2? We do win game 2. Can we get a sweep on this team and make a statement? We are in position to, and we do end up getting a sweep on the Pelicans. Anthony Davis not playing his best game. They do have Brandon Ingram as well. I did not see that, but yeah, nothing too special, especially not their bench. Mike Conley with a 30-point game here. Definitely picking it up in the playoffs. Donovan Mitchell, a little bit of a downward slope in the playoffs, but that's fine. And here in the second round, we're playing the Phoenix Suns. I'm not sure how good they are, but they do have a solid young core. We do win game 1. We go up 2-0 now. Can we get another sweep? It looks like we might. Can we finish it out? And we are 8-0 in the playoffs heading into the conference finals. They did have Zion Williamson, who was a beast for them. DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, TJ Warren, DeJounte Murray. That's actually a really good team. So I don't know how they didn't get a game on us. But Donovan Mitchell dropping 30. Middleton with 21. 5-9. And Grayson Allen 10 points off the bench. So here in the conference finals, we're playing the OKC Thunder. Another really good defensive team. But they do win game 1. Chris Middleton with 23. Mike Conley 13. Gobert only 4 points. Paul George 24. Schroeder 23. Westbrook also 20. So they do go up 2-0 now. Donovan Mitchell not shooting efficiently, but he's not really the most efficient. And yeah, no one really having a great game there. Westbrook with 34 and 10. And Noah Vonleh showing out with 23 himself. They do go up 3-0 on us. Are we going to get swept after sweeping the first 2 rounds? That would be insane. We definitely have a better roster than to just get swept by the Thunder. But I believe they even have Derek Favors, so that's pretty funny. But we will see if we can actually make this a competitive series, and it looks like we won't. So a pretty sad image right here. We're going to get swept, but we're going to try to still get some buckets here with Donovan Mitchell. Nice little pull-up right there, and he hits it. So Donovan Mitchell with 13 points only. Not his best playoff series, shooting 38%, but we'll see right here if we can play some defense. Jeremy Grant inside gets the easy bucket. So we'll see what happens. We definitely have a couple more seasons to go before our players start declining, like Mike Conley. And yeah, really only Mike Conley is our old player. So little pick and roll action here. To Gobert inside, and he gets fouled. So he'll shoot some free throws. But definitely a really good team. I like where we're headed. So we'll give this team probably 2 to 3 seasons. If not, then we'll see what we do. I'm going to try to get a pull-up jumper with Mitchell. Not getting space there, but we're going to try to do a little bit of dribble moves and pull up and hit that tough shot. Checking out the stats, Dennis Schroeder went off 28 points off the bench. Russell Westbrook 25, 5 and 5. Paul George also 20. Their starters came to play, but it looks like Chris Middleton shot horribly, missed all of his threes. Mitchell also missed all of his threes. Both of them choking. And Mike Conley also choking. All of our starters choking. So it is going to be a Thunder-Celtics finals. We'll see if the Thunder can get it done. If not, the Celtics are going to take this one. But the Thunder actually win it all. Can this Utah Jazz team get to the NBA Finals? Is there a big trade needed to take the next step? Watch part 2 to find out. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment on the road to 300 subscribers.